Hello and welcome back to my walkthrough for FNaF World. In the last episode, we unlocked all 8 Update 2 characters, and today we are going to be venturing into Geist Lair, which is the final area of the game. To get there, walk up until the left to step back through the portal. If you didn't watch yesterday's episode, then take a second here and check your party. You need to make sure you have all 8 Update 2 characters unlocked before stepping through this portal. Trust me, you're gonna need all the support you can get. When you have all 8 characters, head through the portal. Okay, so before we do anything else, let's open up the party menu and talk about the characters we unlocked. There are 3 moves that are going to be essential to your success in this final section of the game. Bubble Breath, Fourth Wall, and Slasher. Bubble Breath puts a bubble over all your characters and protects you from the toxic air that is exclusive to Geist Lair. The reason why this is essential is because if you don't activate this ability at the very start of each battle, your health will drain at the speed of sound and you'll be at the game over screen before you even realize what happened. Fourth Wall is the most powerful group attack that you have available to you from these new characters. If you need a refresher, this is the same attack that Scott Cawthon used to decimate you during your final battle with him. But aside from having those stats going for it, it is also the single most effective move for clearing out large groups of mini rainbows. If that sentence doesn't make any sense to you yet, don't worry, it will soon. Finally, we have Slasher, which has a 1 in 10 chance of doing 99,999 damage points. That is almost 100,000 damage points being dealt to your enemies. The problem, of course, is that it can take a while to get that 1 in 10 opportunity to actually strike. So you may be wondering, well, why would you use this when you could instead be dealing damage more regularly? Well, the simple reason is that the final boss has hundreds of thousands of health points, and the only way to ensure victory is to get this to hit at least once. This does unfortunately mean that the final boss relies on luck for you to succeed, but so long as you keep using Slasher every turn, I promise you will emerge victorious. It may take a couple attempts, but it will happen. So to summarize, Bubble Breath, Fourth Wall, and Slasher are the 3 most important moves without which you are destined to lose. You want one character with each of these abilities on both teams. One with Bubble Breath, one with Fourth Wall, and one with Slasher. Here's my optimal team setup. Your primary team should consist of the following members: Nightmare Balloon Boy, Scott Cawthon / Anim Dude, Purple Guy, and Coffee. For your second team, you want Nightmarion, Jacko Chica, Jacko Bonnie, and Mr. Chipper. You want Nightmare BB over Nightmarion in your primary team because Nightmarion has both Bubble Breath and Fourth Wall as moves, whereas Nightmare BB only has Bubble Breath. The reason why this distinction matters is because you want to be able to fire off these attacks one after the other. For instance, at the start of the battle, you activate Bubble Breath, then you can separately activate Fourth Wall. But if you choose Nightmarion to fulfill the Fourth Wall slot, then you'd have to wait for everyone else to take their turn before being able to use that attack. That's also the reason why you have Scott Cawthon on your team. The ability to do a tag team attack with Bubble Breath and Fourth Wall instead of having one character that does both. For Purple Guy, this one's pretty self-explanatory. You just want someone with Slasher. It doesn't really matter if you choose Jacko Bonnie or Purple Guy for this one, they'll both be equally effective. But what I will say, and I don't actually know if this matters or not, is that I like to put my Slasher character in slot number 3 because the character in that slot is the one who is most closely aligned with the enemies. It may not make any difference at all, but since the Slasher appears to be projectile based, I prefer the character to be as in line with the enemy as possible so there's no chance of missing its target. And then for Coffee, you just want him here because he's the only new character with gift boxes, and you want to have access to that move in case Bubble Breath runs out and you can't immediately reactivate it. An alternative strategy is to substitute Coffee for Jacko Bonnie so you have 2 characters with Slasher, but I prefer to have gift boxes to fall back on. Then your second team is the emergency team. It's the oh shoot, my first team got destroyed, red alert team. Ideally, you won't need to use this team at all, but you still want to have it ready to go in case your primary team does get wiped out. Now for your chip setup, I need to make something very clear. The enemies in Geist Lair are so strong that no amount of red chips will be able to save you. Curse status is useless when the final boss has hundreds upon thousands of health points. Freddy Fury, Counterbite, and Pizza Fury are so weak when compared to the health of the enemies, you may as well be hurling insults at them. Block Unscrew is pointless because the final boss doesn't know how to use that attack, and Auto Mimic will just slow down the battle. Instead, you want to focus on buffing your team. You want endless strength, endless defense, and endless speed, as well as auto gift boxes just in case you lose Coffee before you can use his move. Bytes unfortunately aren't going to make much of a difference here at all, but having them do minimal damage is better than having them do no damage at all. So equip the 3 UFOs and the maximum Medpod Bite. Once these things are all set up, you can set off into the depths of Geist Lair. Follow my movements on screen to find the final boss. And no, the map will not help you because you are literally off the map. We're going to have our first battle coming up here in a second, so allow me to give a brief rundown of the attacks you want to use with each character in case you don't already know. With Coffee, if your characters have used up their gift boxes, then obviously you use gift boxes. If not, use Mega Virus. You don't have to use Neon Wall 2 until the final boss. With Scott, always use fourth wall. Coffee already has Mega Virus taken care of, and the effects don't stack, and you never want to use Neon Wall. With Nightmare Balloon Boy, if you haven't already used Bubble Breath, use that. If you have, then use Balloons too. It's a lot stronger than Megabyte. Finally, you should only ever use Slasher as Purple Guy. He won't be of much use until the final boss, but there's always a chance that Slasher will hit the 1 out of 10 chance. This is the rhythm you want to get into for every single battle, including the final boss. Activate Bubble Breath as fast as possible, make sure you always have gift boxes put down, and then alternate between using fourth wall, Slasher, Balloons 2, and Mega Virus. Just keep in mind that Bubble Breath is not permanent. It will wear off after some time, and you will have to reactivate it. You'll know it's starting to wear off when the bubbles start flashing and your health starts to gradually decrease. I made a mistake by activating Neon Wall 2. You never have to do that until we get to the final boss. And in case you're doubting the effectiveness of Slasher, yeah, if you get that attack to hit, you are in a great position for the rest of the battle. Okay, we're about to come up on the final boss here, so before you interact with it, stop here and open your byte menu. Reset your bytes and activate the 3 boss drain bytes plus the maximum UFO byte. They still won't do a whole lot, but hey, they're better than nothing.
Surprised! Yeah, did you really think I'd let a moron like you reach the end of the game? You stupid, idiotic moron! I need a few minutes to charge my rainbow cannon. Yeah, after that it'll be game over. So sit back and prepare to get wrecked.
So, this is why I said that fourth wall is effective at clearing mini rainbows. Believe it or not, the big rainbow can't actually damage you until she charges her laser. It's the mini rainbows that are going to get you killed if you don't pay attention. But so long as you keep spamming fourth wall, you don't have to worry about the mini rainbows. If the game isn't switching you to Scott Cawthon fast enough, Coffee's Neon Wall 2 is just as effective because the mini rainbows will be immediately destroyed upon colliding with the wall. Other than that, the strategy is the same as always. Keep Bubble Breath activated, replenish gift boxes when necessary, use Mega Virus to deal damage over time, use fourth wall or Neon Wall 2 to clear out mini rainbows, and keep spamming Slasher until it connects. If you do enough damage, you may only have to get the 99999 damage to activate once.
2 minutes left and my rainbow cannon will be ready.
But no matter what, don't stop using Slasher until the rainbow is defeated.
Cheated! Besides, didn't your mommy ever tell you that you can't count a rainbow? The next time you see a rainbow in the sky, that is me coming to your house!
The show will begin momentarily. Everyone, please stay in your seats.
And there you go, that is FNaF World 100% completed on the channel. It may have taken me 4 years to do it, but I finally completed it. And in case you're wondering about the second party's usefulness, my first party used up all the gift boxes towards the end there, and I might not have been able to get more down before they got wiped out. So, while you may not end up needing the second party, trust me when I say you do not want to get caught off guard without a backup team, should worse come to worse. Anyway, that's the game done. It's a great game, it really is. It's probably one of the most overhated games I've ever played, and like it really is a shame that Scott pulled it from Steam, because this game turned into something great. When it launched, it wasn't good. The 2D overworld when it first launched was juxtaposed to the rest of the game. The lack of nothing was explained. Absolutely nothing was explained. The attacks weren't explained. The ships weren't explained. The bytes weren't explained. Nothing was explained. You had to figure it all out for yourself, and it was not well. It was a rushed release. Indisputably, it was absolutely rushed. It did not launch in a good state. And also the fact that like you couldn't actually see the stats of your characters or anything. That's not a good RPG when you can't see which characters have what attacks in the party setup menu or what their stats are or anything like that. But you know what? Credit to Scott where credit is due. He kept working on this game and he made it something amazing. He pulled it from Steam, he gave everybody their money back, and he made it completely free for everybody. I cannot recommend this game enough. It is so much fun. It really is. If anything that you've seen here intrigued you in the slightest, it's free on Game Jolt. You can just download it for free and try it out. It's great. It's really great RPG. And if you want to see the rest of the game, like in case you're new to the channel and you just watched these 2 episodes, I do have 6 other episodes in this walkthrough for the rest of the game. I was much younger when I made those videos, so you're gonna notice a very significant change in my voice. But you know, I'm still pretty proud of those videos. I like to think I made a decent initial walkthrough for this game, and I'm happy to say that I finally finished it out, because it's great. It's a very, very strong RPG. It gets a lot of hate, probably because of how it launched, but I think if more people gave the game a chance, they'd end up liking it. But that's all I have for today. That's the end of this walkthrough, so thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time, and I hope to catch you all tomorrow for whatever walkthrough is next. Goodbye!